carry weight. Not just in your hands, not just on your back. Carry weight in your life, because a man without weight is not free. He is empty, and an empty man will always fill himself with poison. He will fill himself with distraction. He will fill himself with pleasure. He will fill himself with noise. He will fill himself with excuses. Then he will sit alone at night and wonder why he feels restless, anxious, and hollow. You want to know why so many men feel like life has no meaning? Because they carry nothing that demands meaning from them. Meaning is not found in comfort. Meaning is forged under weight, responsibility, duty, consequences, pressure. The modern world teaches men to avoid weight. Avoid commitment, avoid suffering, avoid responsibility, avoid obligation, avoid anything that might limit pleasure. And what happens? Men become soft, not only in body, soft in spirit. They can't endure boredom. They can't endure discomfort. They can't endure silence. They can't endure the truth about themselves. So they drift. And drift is the slow death of a man. A drifting man becomes a consumer. He consumes food he didn't earn, consumes entertainment he doesn't deserve, consumes attention he didn't build, consumes advice he will never execute. And the more he consumes, the weaker he becomes. Because consumption without creation turns a man into dead weight. This is the brutal truth. If you do not carry weight, you become weight, a burden to your family, to your partner, to your friends, to your future children, to society, to yourself. A man who carries nothing becomes needy. Needy for validation, needy for comfort, needy for rescue, needy for someone else to guide him, fix him, motivate him, save him. No one respects a needy man. Not because people are cruel, because neediness is weakness revealed, and the world is not built to protect weak men forever. One day, life will test you. You will face loss. You will face pressure. You will face conflict. You will face responsibility whether you want it or not. And the men who avoided weight their whole lives collapse when the real weight arrives. So I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Carrying weight is not optional. It is the path to manhood. It is the path to purpose. It is the path to a life that feels solid. Because weight gives your day structure. Weight forces discipline. Weight eliminates childish thinking. A man with responsibility does not spend his life asking, "What do I feel like doing?" He asks, "What must be done?" And that question is the beginning of power. Let me give you the philosophical truth in plain words. Men were designed to bear burdens. That is not oppression. That is identity. A man becomes valuable through what he can carry. The more he can carry, the more stable he becomes. And stability is strength. A stable man is calm. A stable man is reliable. A stable man is respected. A stable man is needed. And being needed is what gives life meaning. Not entertainment, not pleasure. Being needed. So if you feel lost, the answer is not more comfort. The answer is more weight. Now I'm going to break this down into principles you can live by, not theories. Principle 1. A man must be responsible for something real. If your responsibilities are optional, they are not responsibilities. They are hobbies. A man needs something that does not care about his mood, something that demands he show up, something that forces him to become disciplined. That could be your body, your training, your health, your strength. It could be your craft, a skill you practice daily until you are sharp. It could be your work, a profession you master with pride. It could be your family, a household that depends on your stability. but it must be real, because a man without real responsibility becomes a child in an adult body. He becomes reactive, he becomes impulsive, he becomes weak. Carry something that demands you grow. Principle 2. Weight creates purpose because it creates necessity. Purpose is not found in thinking. Purpose is found in necessity. When you are needed, you have a mission. When you have a mission, your life becomes organized. When your life is organized, your mind becomes calm. That's why aimless men feel anxious. They have too much freedom and no mission. Freedom without direction becomes chaos. Chaos becomes emptiness. So stop romanticizing a life with no obligations. That is not freedom. That is decay. A man needs duty. Duty is the spine of purpose. Principle 3. The weight you avoid becomes the weight that crushes you later. You avoid training, and your body becomes a burden. You avoid saving, and money becomes a noose. You avoid hard conversations, and relationships become poison. You avoid responsibility, and anxiety becomes your constant companion. Avoidance does not remove weight. Avoidance only delays weight and multiplies it. This is the law of life. The hard path now, or the harder path later. A man chooses weight early, so he is not destroyed by it later. Principle 4. Carry weight in silence. Most weak men announce their burdens. They complain. They perform suffering. They need sympathy. That is not strength. Carrying weight is not about being seen. It's about becoming capable. A strong man does not need applause for responsibility. He understands responsibility is the entry fee for respect. So you carry weight quietly. You do what must be done. You endure. Then you move forward. This builds something rare, inner authority. Principle 5. Carry weight physically to train carrying weight mentally. Your body is the training ground of your spirit. If you cannot carry weight in the gym, you will struggle to carry weight in life. Not because muscle solves everything, because training teaches the mind. It teaches you to endure. It teaches you to breathe under pressure. It teaches you to keep going when it burns. Carrying weight teaches calm. That is why soldiers march with weight. That is why warriors train under load. Because when the mind is trained to bear strain, life becomes less intimidating. So put weight on your back. Walk, rock, carry something heavy and move forward, not for entertainment, for discipline, for identity. Principle 6. Weight eliminates childish thinking. A man with responsibilities cannot live in fantasies. He cannot spend all day chasing dopamine. He cannot waste nights scrolling and numbing out. Because weight demands a price. It demands sleep. It demands focus. It demands discipline. This is why responsibility matures men, not age. Responsibility. A man becomes a man when his actions have consequences beyond himself. Principle 7. If you want brotherhood, carry weight with other men. A brotherhood is built on shared burden, not shared comfort. Men bond through hardship, through training, through labor, through missions. That is why modern men feel lonely. They are surrounded by people, but they share no burdens. They share entertainment. That is not brotherhood. Brotherhood is when men hold each other accountable, when men carry weight together and refuse to let each other quit. So build that circle, even if it starts with one man, one brother, one ally. Train together, work together, push each other. A man who carries weight with brothers becomes harder to break. Principle 8. Carry weight for your future family. Even if you are alone right now, understand this. You are training to become someone's foundation. If you want a wife, you must be stable. If you want children, you must be strong. A household cannot be built on moods. A household cannot be built on laziness. A household cannot be built on a man who collapses under pressure. So you train now. You carry weight now. Because later, when life is real, you won't have time to build yourself from scratch. You will either be ready, or you will fail people who depend on you. And failing those people will break you more than any pain you avoided. Principle 9. Carry weight, but do not become a tyrant. Some men misunderstand responsibility. They think carrying weight makes them superior. It does not. It makes them accountable. A leader carries weight to serve, not to dominate, not to control for ego. True masculinity is strength with restraint, leadership through example, calm under pressure, justice without cruelty. A man who carries weight must also carry humility, humility before truth. Because if you carry weight with arrogance, you become dangerous in the wrong way. Power without morality becomes corruption. So carry weight like a warrior, not a bully. Principle 10. Your life becomes meaningful when you become reliable. Reliability is rare. Most men are consistent only when life is easy. They disappear when pressure arrives. A reliable man shows up anyway. He does what he said he would do. He carries his share. He does not hide. He does not make excuses. That reliability becomes his reputation. And reputation is a form of legacy. People remember the man who carried weight when others collapsed. That is respect. And respect feels better than comfort, because respect is earned. Principle 11. Carry weight daily, not occasionally. Most men try to carry weight in bursts. They have one hard week, one good day. Then they collapse. That is not carrying weight. That is visiting it. A man builds strength through consistency. So create daily non-negotiables. Move your body. Produce value. Practice restraint. Carry weight every day, even if it is small. Small weight carried daily builds a strong back. Small responsibility carried daily builds a strong mind. Principle 12. The weight makes you. You think weight is a burden. It is a forge. It shapes you. It burns weakness out of you. It forces you to grow. And growth is the only thing that creates true confidence. Confidence is not loud. It is not performance. It is quiet certainty. It is the knowledge that you can handle life. That certainty is built under weight, not under comfort. Now let me speak directly to the man who feels like he has no energy, no drive, no hunger. Listen, hunger is not missing. It is buried. Buried under comfort. Buried under distraction. Buried under a life with no demands. Give your life weight and hunger returns, because hunger is the natural response of a man with a mission. The reason you feel numb is because you have no mission that requires your strength. So, you must create it. And here is the part many men fear. To carry weight, you must accept responsibility for your own failures. You must stop blaming your parents, your past, your environment, your feelings. Not because those things do not matter, but because blaming them gives away your power. A man who blames is a man who surrenders. He hands his life to the past. He becomes a victim of history. A warrior does not live like that. A warrior uses the past as fuel. Then he moves forward. So, you will stop blaming. You will start carrying. Because carrying is action. Carrying is ownership. Carrying is masculinity in its purest form. Now I will give you a simple vision. Imagine two men. One man wakes up and asks, "What do I feel like doing?" He chooses ease. He avoids discomfort. He escapes responsibility. His life becomes light, but his mind becomes heavy. Heavy with anxiety, heavy with regret, heavy with emptiness, because he carries no real duty. The other man wakes up and asks, "What must be done?" He trains, he works, he carries obligations. His life becomes heavy, but his mind becomes light. Light with clarity, light with peace, light with purpose, because he is needed, he is building, he is becoming. This is the choice. Light life, heavy mind, or heavy life, light mind. Pick your burden, because you will have one either way. Now listen to the final truth. Your life will never feel meaningful if you avoid weight. Meaning is not a feeling that arrives. It is a structure you build, a structure built from duty, discipline, and responsibility. So you will carry weight. You will not run from it. You will not complain. You will not romanticize ease, because ease is a thief. It steals your manhood one comfortable day at a time. Carry weight, and you will stand taller. Carry weight, and you will speak with more certainty. Carry weight, and you will become calm under pressure. Carry weight, and you will become the kind of man others rely on. A pillar, not a parasite. A protector, not a consumer. A builder, not a drifter. That is what men are for. Not because the world owes you respect, but because your duty demands it. So start today. Choose a burden you will carry every day. Make it real, make it honest, make it non-negotiable. And when it hurts, understand what is happening. The weak part of you is dying. Let it die. Carry weight, and become the man you were meant to be.